Welcome back everyone, thanks for tuning in to another video review, and we have another exclusive item straight from Disneyland's Galaxy's Edge, the Dejarik board game with checkers. As many of you know, this is the Holochess set that R2, C-3PO, and Chewbacca are playing on the Millennium Falcon in episode 4, and you can actually enjoy the table itself and have a photo op inside the Smuggler's Run line queue before going into the cockpit and enjoying the ride. Now, over the years, I've always wanted something like this as a collectible, and I want to say either Sideshow or Hot Toys had made a scaled version for one of their Millennium Falcon sets, not, the cockpit, which I don't think we have yet as either, but, just to pair with C-3PO, Chewie, and R2, but this is probably the best thing that we have gotten that resembles or mimics something directly from the films. As you can see from the picture, it is pretty different. However, it's more of a, a at-home piece to add to like a coffee table or, to even play with friends or family. And it is a wooden board that we do see there. And once I open up, we can really take a look and see the design of it. And there are the 8 figures that we have here. Let me see if I can get that focused, but I will get a close-up as well once I take them out. And up here it says the Dejarik board game with checkers. There's some airbrush. And the bottom just has the details, including 8 Dejarik pieces, 24 checkers, game board, and instructions. Taking a look at the back of the board, we do see the different setups for the checkers and the Holochess board sides. And up here we do have the checkers are actually showing the Resistance and the Empire logos, which is really cool. And that just shows both sides of the board, the Holochess and the checker side. And this one shows the names of each of these figures, which I didn't actually know they had names, but it's pretty cool to check them out. So you can take a look to read those, because I am not going to butcher some of these names. And again, just some details saying that it includes the 8 figures, 24 checkers, and actual product colors may vary from the packaging. So let's open this up and see what the actual product looks like. Alright, so here we have the board and the figures unwrapped, unboxed, and this thing is so beautiful. I mean, the wood is amazing, the pieces are so cool, the compartment and the way they have it set up to reveal the checkers board. This is a really cool piece. For 50 bucks, I mean, I'm really happy with this. I would have thought, considering it's Disney and the new land opening up, this would be well priced over $100. But for $50, this is definitely worth it. And for a Star Wars fan, you can't miss this, especially if this is one of your favorite, components or props from the movie. And this is a, more affordable version than getting the actual Holochess board with, from the Falcon. Anywho, this is the setup that the instructions do recommend or do show how to put the pieces, and I'll get into the actual board in just a moment. So let me go ahead and show the 2 instruction papers that do come with it. So here is one, and this just shows each team. Of course, on the figures you can see they have the red and blue base, and there is a close-up of the red team and the blue team. And then here it shows some instructions on how to make the movement. So, each one shows a move and an attack and the highlighted portions of, which way to go. And the back is just blank. And then there is also this little booklet, the Dejarik board game with checkers. And there's the checkers again. And this shows the instructions for Dejarik, the object, the layout, the gameplay, how it ends, and of course the layout and the moves as well. So I'm not too sure what, I haven't actually read through in detail both of the different instructions that are with it. Oh, and of course there's instructions for checkers too. But that one is more of a simplified and a quicker version to read. One thing that I wish they did different. I wish the bases weren't so big on the figures individually, because as the layout shows, this is how they are supposed to start, but some of the figures are kind of big. They don't really fit within the square, and it's not like a normal checkers or chessboard where each square is the same size. You know, they all have different sizes and shapes, so of course it's not a big deal that they don't fit. That's just kind of a personal OCD thing to me. But of course, if I'm just going to have it displayed, you know, I can have them all starting in different positions wherever they do fit and, you know, seem normal. But anywho, let's start with the blue team. And we've got this guy, if I can find his name again. This one seems to be the Chlor Slug. Pretty cool. So basically a giant slug, kind of like what we saw in the Solo movie. So there isn't too much crazy detail on these. Here we have Molitor. This guy's pretty cool. And given the position that most of these are in, I'm sure they could have done the figures without the bases. But again, it's not a huge issue. And let's see, here we have the Montelian Savrip. That's a ogre-ish looking guy. He's pretty cool. And I don't think, yeah, these figures don't move, or do they? No, they don't move. They almost look like they are, but it just seems like those are where the arms and the heads are attached. So nothing moves. There's no articulation or movement in the figures. And the last one from the blue team, it is Guck. It's G, 3 H's and a K, the bottom left right there. Guck. Basically a toadish frog looking character. Now for the red team. Here we have the Kinton Strider. Pretty cool looking guy here. Looks like he has a club in his hand. And the bases, actually, I didn't take a look. Underneath, they just have the, oh, they have the name as well. LFL, I think that says, yeah, and made in China. So you would know each name, you know, based on the bottom of the figures. And this guy seems to be Monarch, there we go. The colors are pretty much the same on most of these. There isn't, again, too much detail going into them, but just enough to distinguish, you know, other than the obvious shape and size differences of the characters. And this one seems to be Nagok. All super unique, and I really wish we did see more of them. Now, Galaxy's Edge also does have larger sets of these. I've been debating if I want them. They're essentially I want to say the blue team and the red team in two different sets, and they are much bigger. I want to say maybe height-wise they stand up here, almost like mini busts or mini figures or statuesque pieces, and I want to say they were 130 each, if I'm not mistaken. I will double check, but I'm not sure if I want to buy those if I already have this one. And this one is Hojix. Another cool looking guy here. And now for the board. Let me go ahead and remove all these figures so we take a better look. And this board is absolutely beautiful. The dark wood color, a little bit of dust there from the packaging. It's phenomenal. It's so cool. It's like a real chessboard, and the design is super great. I love all the different wood paneling, and it actually does, you know, it is real wood. I mean, it doesn't feel like plastic or anything. And taking a look at the bottom, we have a nice base here, like kind of with some gold and brushed metal look almost, but it kind of gives that rustic-ish look, and that goes all the way around here. And then just a close-up on the board in different light. And the bottom of the board has a beautiful wooden base as well. There's nothing to say except Star Wars logo here and Galaxy's Edge, and then these nice soft pads so it doesn't actually rest on the table or wherever you do have it. So there is a little slot right here that you do lift this up, and there are the checker pieces, and this is the checkers board too. So let me take these out. As I mentioned from the pictures on the box, each checkers piece has either the Resistance or the Empire logo. So there is that. Pretty simple, you know, they're just normal checkers pieces, nothing really to them, but they do have a cool design. They are, I don't want to say they're wood, they're definitely plastic, but you know, they did add some cool designs to make them feel like you're actually playing checkers off-world and not, you know, a normal real-life checkers piece. And then for the resistance pieces, or the other team, and I like how these bags are sealable, you know, Ziploc type bags. Or I'm sorry, not resistance, I meant rebels, but you know, they're pretty much the same party fighting against the same people. There we go. And then the inside of the board as well is still wood. Again, just a beautiful, beautiful design all around. And this one just goes right back in. You don't have to line it up any certain way because the little hat latch, or you know, opening here, it's on the main board itself, so you don't have to. And you know, normal checkers, you can just line those up. Alright folks, so there we have it. Just a pretty quick review. Nothing too crazy about this one, but overall, again, it's just a beautiful design, beautiful set all around. And actually, I did forget to mention, this is not light. It is a pretty heavy duty piece. I mean, it's sturdy, it's heavy. I want to say at least 6-7 pounds, maybe even up to 10 pounds. I'm just trying to guesstimate it from when I lift, you know, the dumbbells, the lighter dumbbells at the gym, you know, in one hand. Maybe 10 pounds, honestly. I mean, this is heavy duty. The box doesn't say, you know, the weight or the dimensions, but let me get the ruler real quick so you do see that across the widest part of the board is almost a foot. Actually, yeah, it's actually pretty much a foot long. And then the tallest figure here is about 2¼ inches. And the smallest figure, I guess I want to say this guy, is about 1½ inches. And you know, lengthwise, this might be the longest figure as well. Again, maybe almost 2 inches, maybe 1¾ inches. But again, it's a beautiful set, perfect for a coffee table, you know, maybe a centerpiece in the dining room. If you have like a Star Wars cave of sorts, setting this up on a table, and if you have any other pieces to go with it, it will just look beautiful. But yeah, there we have it, folks. If you have any questions about it or comments, feel free to leave them below. Again, I will be back to Galaxy's Edge this weekend and maybe picking up a few more items, but this is definitely a favorite of mine and I'm super happy with it. Thank you for watching, and be sure to follow and subscribe all my channels in the description below.